So, just dog sitting. A great day. Anyway, point of the video. I've met a lot of people the last couple of years. A lot of interesting people. Some well known, some famous, some infamous, some notorious, some outright weird, a bit like me. Very, very different, all walks in life. Footballers, boxers, gangsters, religious people, bare knuckle people, lots of different people in life who have to give you an example. So I've got 22 books out on Amazon. I've released them. And for instance, that first book, there was 50 people in it. Second book, 34. Yeah, so you get the picture, literally hundreds of people. And one of my favourite people, or one of the people I've really got a soft spot for, and it's probably, I have to say, my wife's favourite. She's always the one, every now and again, she'll say to me, how's Dominic? It's Dominic Negus. Dominic Negus was an ex-pro. Kind of come to the public domain as fighting Audley Harrison not long after he'd won his Olympic gold. Dominic, a wee bit naughty, just a wee bit, or was. But do you know what? I've got to know the real him. And I've met a lot of people over the year, a lot of kind of scary people. But do you know what? He is he's a bit like the Cowardly Lion from the Wizards of Oz. He looks really fierce. And, you don't have to read the small print on the tin, to kind of big 6'2", bald-headed, Cock-er-ney geezer, bruiser, hands like air paws. And, but you know what? I've got to know him. I went and stayed at his house a couple of years back. And he's almost like geekish. He's a bit like, it's like, don't judge a book by its cover, because the more you get to know him, you realise how soft and timid and almost mentally fragile he is. But no, do you know what? He's someone who I've kind of almost a bit fell in love with. My wife has for sure. So when I'm in London next month, I want to do a bit of catching up with Dominic. I want to do a bit of, obviously you've all seen him from Danny Dyer's Deadliest Men. What else has he been on? That BBC Britain's Underworld that was on. That was a bit of a brutal watch, to be honest. That was as good as a fly in the wall documentary as you'll ever get. It was a bit like kind of Paul Sykes at Large, but it was a little bit more scarier. That's quite hard to believe, but obviously Sykes' documentary, he was kind of an oldish man then. Dominic was in his prime. Or he was at his most active, and in that world he was in. And then you seen the ending, didn't you? When I think Dominic called him in his book, Free Angels. Free of his, what's that saying? The three horsemen of apocalypse. But in Dominic's case, one was carrying a gun, one was carrying an axe, and one was carrying a baseball bat or a knife or something. But yeah, that documentary, documentary alone always stuck in my head. And when I started writing books, that documentary alone probably made me want to write his book. But he's a character that is grossly intrigues me. And I'd definitely like to do something else again with Dominic, whether it be another book, documentary or something. I know we've kind of flirted with the idea. But no, I'm going to be with Dominic next month, and I'm going to be treating him to a kebab around Brick Lane. Jimmy O, it's a bit of free advertising for you there, mate. The Jimmy O Show. He's the only man on YouTube who has a haircut worse than me. Jimmy, if you're watching, you look like you shoot skulls up. Going back to Dominic, big love, mate. And listen, I'll see you I'll see you in that East End. See, Dominic's as Cockney as they come. A lot of people think he's Essex, which I think he was brought up in Essex, but he was born in Bethnal Green. So he's as Cockney as Alf Garnett. They don't come any more Cockney than Dominic Negus. So yeah, I'm gonna be doing a little bit of Dominic next month, and I like Dominic. I do. I've got a proper genuine love for him. So I think you've seen him on the Sean Atwood podcast. I think I got him on about a year or two back. There's more out there for Dominic when he's always very, very busy these days. With work and all this, and being a dad. There's a little joke, Dominic. Anyone who listens, he'll say, just talks about his daughter. So in Dominic's circle, it's a little like kind of piss take where, Dominic, I didn't know you had a daughter. You can only imagine what he's going to be like when he's going to become a granddad, don't you? But no, I'm going to be filming with the incredibly venerable and rather insightful Mr. Dominic Negus. He's very, very different to how you first think. He's not actually like that. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I have great love for him. So anyway, Dominic Negus, we've got a page. Dominic Negus Into the Light on Facebook. I'm going to put the link in the bio, and also the book Into the Light. It was Dominic's book. Dominic's book. Of course it was. I written it. It was Dominic's second book. That was it, because his first one was Out with the Shadows, which I read. I borrowed it from Berrickel's library in 2007. And then when did I write that? About 2018. So it was 11 years later. I met him 2012, I think. It was like, 10 years ago. But he always stuck in my head. But I'm hopefully gonna do a few videos of Dominic next month. So big shout out to Dominic. Big love, mate. Thanks for the video. And don't forget to subscribe to his Facebook page. And if you want to buy the book from Amazon, the link is in the bio. Thanks. God bless.